All right, I believe we should be live here on Dodgers Dawgs, part of the Dodgers Daily Network. My name is not Casey Porter. My name is Austin Brubaker. I will be your host this evening, and I couldn't be more excited to be with you guys tonight. It's been a little while since I've had the chance to go on. I was busy towards the end of the Great Lakes season, super heavily involved with everything that was going on there. Took a little bit of time, been busy the past couple of weeks, took a little bit of a step back, but now I'm ready to go back, rock and roll with you guys as the Dodgers have clinched a postseason spot. We'll talk a little bit about that tonight. It's going to be a little bit of a shorter show. Was expected to be joined by Casey, but he had some plans pop up last minute, so it's just going to be me tonight. So whatever you guys want to talk about, which I'm sure there's not a whole lot of things that are to discuss for the Dodgers right now, except for, Shohei Ohtani getting 50 home runs and 50 stolen bases, and the way that he did it last night was absolutely incredible. As we get our first super chat of the evening, Jeremy Bird, thank you so much for that. It is greatly appreciated to both Casey and I. The show must go on. That is absolutely right. And both talking about Dodgers Daily and also talking about Shohei Ohtani and his 50 home runs and 50 stolen bases to become the first ever player, the inaugural member of the 50-50 club. Absolutely insane what Shohei Ohtani has been able to do. You saw it during the game yesterday when he hit those 3 home runs. He had the 10 RBIs. It was one of, if not the greatest game, one of the greatest games in regular season history. I'm curious to see what you guys think as far as it being one of the greatest games in history. Is it the greatest? Is it just one of those special moments, and because of the circumstance, because it was a historic moment on top of an already great... If you already had 3 home runs and 10 RBIs in the game, you'd already be talking about it being a great game, but you add on the historic importance of this moment. Shohei Ohtani also going for 6 for 6 as well. Just absolutely incredible what he did yesterday and what he's been able to do and what he's meant for this Dodgers team. The Dodgers got to sign Shohei Ohtani during the offseason, and it's been an absolute catalyst to this lineup. It took a lineup that was really solid, that was really good, that had Mookie Betts, that had Freddie Freeman, and it added the best player in the game of baseball to it, which just further elevates especially the top of that lineup just to an absolutely astronomical level. And we talk about that being important because we are entering the very final stretch of the season. There's 9 games to go, 3 against Colorado at home, 3 against San Diego, and then 3 more against Colorado on the road. Just 9 more regular season games to best position the Dodgers up to the postseason. And you talk about different avenues, different ways to win during the postseason. If this Dodgers team is going to go anywhere in the postseason, which I'm sure we can go into if you guys want to talk about where some of the uncomfortableness is, which I'm sure a lot of it starting pitchers, especially with just the crappy health and the bad news that the Dodgers continue to get for some of their starting pitchers down the stretch that they were going to rely on. This Dodgers offense has to carry them during this postseason run. Shohei Ohtani has to play like the best player in baseball during the postseason run. Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman have to produce. You have to get contributions from towards the bottom of the lineup from guys like Max Muncy, from guys like Will Smith, from a guy like Tommy Edman, who has been just playing out of his mind recently. This Dodgers offense is going to have to step up. And what we're seeing right now from Shohei Ohtani is unbelievable. Being the first player to hit 50-50 tells you he can do just about anything on the ball field. He continues to prove that. I mean, we were talking about a couple of weeks ago, maybe about a month and a half or so ago, about okay, maybe this is a possibility, but it's a little bit unrealistic. He did it, and he did it with 9 games to go. He did it in the 10th game left of the regular season. Just absolutely unbelievable what Shohei Ohtani has done. He is going to be, and rightfully deserves to be, the National League MVP with the numbers that he's put up this season. Just looking at Shohei Ohtani's statistics during the course of the season, batting .294, 376, 629 slugging percentage for him, 172 WRC plus. You add on the 50 home runs, you add on his ability to steal bases as well. Shohei Ohtani is a once-in-a-lifetime type of player. We're never going to see a baseball player quite like Shohei Ohtani. It is an absolute blessing to be able to have him in Dodgers blue for this season, and he's going to play an absolutely critical role for this Dodgers team if they want to go forward in the postseason. The Dodgers don't have a ton of luck, or haven't had a ton of luck health-wise, but they do have a great lineup, and they're going to have to outscore a lot of teams if they want to win, and then they're going to have to rely on their bullpen to be locked down for them going forward. I believe that is the path. The starting pitching is very thin right now for this Dodgers team, but there is still a ton of potential. There's still a ton of talent on this team, and I couldn't be more excited. As Jeremy Bird, thank you so much for the super chat as well. We'll appreciate it more if it comes with parade. That is 100% right. Should not be the biggest celebration of the year, Shohei Ohtani hitting 50-50, because I think most Dodgers fans, as amazing and as cool as it is, and as once in a lifetime as it is to see a player reach these marks, I think most Dodgers fans would prefer to have a parade. And with all the difficulties, there's a lot of excuses that you can throw out there. I'm not going to make any excuses for this team. This team has too much talent, and they have too much potential for him. But next year, how about an 80-80 season from Jeremy Bird? Now you're just dreaming and being ridiculous, man. I mean, we can talk about how ridiculous it would be for him to hit 55-55 this season. I think that would be a good goal during the course 9 seasons. Of course, if I say that, he's going to go out and do 60-60 or something ridiculous like that. But 80-80. That would be that. I mean, you'd be breaking the mark for the home runs in the season. Just absolutely unbelievable what he would be able to do. But then again, do not doubt the talent and ability that Shohei Ohtani has. I can't imagine that. But then again, he's Shohei Ohtani. Sean, thank you very much for joining us. Hey everyone, great to catch an episode with Austin live. Who do you think the third starter in the postseason is going to be? Knack, Buehler, somebody else? Great question. Right now, I believe the postseason starting rotation is going to be Flaherty and Yamamoto 1 and 2, and then that number 3 is a real question mark. If I had to guess, and this is with the rotation that it is right now, how I think the Dodgers would do it, assuming that there's not a wild card like a Clayton Kershaw already somehow comes back and jumps into the postseason, which could be a possibility, or somebody else comes back from the injured list and pops up. I would probably anticipate it being Walker Buehler. Am I comfortable with that? No, not really. If I'm being honest with you, I'm not super comfortable with the way that he has been pitching during the course of the season. I know he showed stuff in one of his most recent outings. I'd be more comfortable with the Landon Knack just because of the way I like I just like his pitch ability right now and what he's been able to do. That being said, I could see the Dodgers going to, and I think the most likely scenario would be them leaning on him and then having a Landon Knack potentially for a Game 4 bulk inning type role. Either way, I'm anticipating a lot of innings during the postseason to be eaten by this bullpen. This bullpen has done a ton for the Dodgers throughout the course of the season, so there is some concern, and I definitely am concerned that they've taken the brunt of a lot of the load for this Dodgers team throughout the course of the season, that could rear its ugly head during the course of the season. However, that's, I believe, is going to be what's going to have to happen for this Dodgers team unless they get unanticipated great success for this Dodgers starting rotation, which is injured, which is battered, which is very limited right now. I do not anticipate, and I don't think we'll see Bobby Miller, unfortunately, for the Dodgers during this postseason because he's not pitching well at all right now. You could potentially see a wild card return from the injured list. However, with the Dodgers and the arms they have right now, I would anticipate probably them leaning a little bit more towards a Walker Buehler. Also, Craig Osterberg, thank you very much. Always joining us here. Dodgers Dawgs, part of the Dodgers Daily Network, asks, will Shohei Ohtani pitch during the postseason? I was watching a little bit of MiLB Network this morning when Brandon Gomes showed up. I believe it was MLB Now talking to Brian Kenny. He seemed pretty emphatic that Shohei Ohtani won't pitch during the postseason, or at least that is not in the plans right now. Of course, plans could change. However, unless it is the biggest moment of the season and the Dodgers absolutely need Shohei Ohtani to go out there, I'm not anticipating Shohei Ohtani pitching during the postseason. Just my inkling, it's based off of Brandon Gomes and just based off of a gut feeling as well. I don't anticipate Shohei Ohtani going out there and pitching unless it's the biggest moment of the season, in which case it turns into the World Baseball Classic, Shohei Ohtani going out there pitching potentially to finish the game. I don't see the Dodgers making that risk, though, with Shohei Ohtani this season. I think he's going to do enough with the bats to make up for that. And hopefully the Dodgers, with their offense, which is a very good offense, let's get this straight. This is one of the best offenses in the game of baseball, especially now that they have all of their guys pretty much healthy and playing really solid baseball. They can put up, like they did yesterday, a 20 spot. I'm not anticipating a 20 spot in the postseason, but they can put up a lot of runs. And if they put up a lot of runs, they should have enough arms in this bullpen to be able to win some games during October. They have some new guys. They have some fresh faces out there. They got to play tough. They got to want to win this too. It can't just be sit back and hope we win it. You got to go out there and take it for this Dodgers team. So I'll be interesting to see what they're able to do. They have great opportunities during the course of this next 9 games, with 6 opportunities against the Colorado Rockies to be able to win the Division 1 and also position themselves best during the postseason. And that's what I hope that the Dodgers will do during this season. Sean also mentions a 50-50-50 season when he strikes out 50 next year. There's so much that Shohei Ohtani can do on the baseball field. He is the most valuable player in the game of baseball, and there's a very good reason why the Dodgers paid him $700 million, and perhaps that's a little bit of an underpayment with what he's been able to produce. Sounds ridiculous to say, yet with the money that he brings in and with his production on the field, Dodgers are lucky, beyond lucky, that Shohei Ohtani chose to come to the Dodgers. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Yo, good to see you in the chat here as well. I also want to bring up another topic which is also listed in the show title as well. Tonight, I believe, is going to be the night when the Dodgers are going to be honoring their minor league pitcher and minor league hitters of the year. And those two have been reported out on X. I saw it from Fabian Ardaya. Casey was actually able to mention that Rushing was able to go to headed to California, headed to Los Angeles for this award ceremony. The two recipients tonight of the minor league players of the year are catcher / left fielder, also can play first base, Dalton Rushing, one of the best prospects in the Dodgers organization, and left-handed starting pitcher Jackson Ferris. I want to dive into a little bit of their stories as well. Dalton Rushing has been in this organization since the 2022 season, Dodgers' first pick in that draft, and he went out on the scene and just unloaded against Rancho. Had a really solid season for Great Lakes in 2023, and all of this success has continued during the course of the 2024 campaign. Let's look at some of his numbers. He spent most of the time in Double-A Tulsa, spent the past 35-ish games in Oklahoma City, which he spent a lot of time getting some different positions, which we'll talk about should the Dodgers bring up Dalton Rushing. I don't think the Dodgers are going to bring up Dalton Rushing this season, but he is so close, and the Dodgers should be getting excited about this guy. During his time during Double-A this season, 270, 378, 512. That equals a 149 WRC plus for Dalton Rushing. Had 17 bombs, combined 24 bombs on this season. When you could add in his 7 that he had for Oklahoma City during his 35 games, has a 120 WRC plus for the Oklahoma City Baseball Club. Dalton Rushing, it is his fight, it is his competitive nature, and he can hit the ball a long way, but he does it in a lot of those big time moments. He's very patient at the plate. He'll take quite a bit of pitches. In fact, there's times when you want him to swing a little bit more than what he currently does. But Dalton Rushing has an elite plate approach up there, and he knows exactly what he's looking for. He is going to be and looks like the part of a big league caliber player and a big league starter caliber player. The Dodgers have that in Dalton Rushing. This season has been a really great success for Rush. 149 WRC plus in Tulsa, 120 in Oklahoma City. He did what the organization asks of him. He stuck around within this organization, and he doesn't just play catcher. He's also adapted really well to left field, adding that positional versatility, which is so crucial with the limitations that the Dodgers have roster-wise for a catcher, for a guy who can also play first base as well. You can envision Dalton Rushing being an actual part of this future and finding consistent playing time besides just playing every 3 or 4 days in the role that an Austin Barnes, let's say, would have played. He can also go out there and play left field as well. Dalton Rushing is going to be a big part of this Dodgers team, this Dodgers roster going forward. Congratulations to Rush on being the Dodgers minor league hitter of the year in 2024. And then a guy I'm very familiar with because I got to see him through most of the course of the 2024 season, and that is Jackson Ferris, left-handed starting pitcher, a guy that the Dodgers traded for during the offseason, really during spring training-ish time period with the Michael Busch trade. Michael Busch got traded out to the Chicago Cubs, is having a really successful season. Congratulations to him. Dodgers got a really nice player back, actually 2 really great players back. The one that is being rewarded today is Jackson Ferris, and he just had an incredible season throughout the course of the season. There was times early in the season when he would give up some runs, but you could see the effectiveness on all of his pitches that he was going out there and throwing, and it was just maybe one bad pitch in an 0-2 count that allowed a hitter to get some extra bases on him, or he'd give up that 1 home run that would turn a 5-inning 1-run performance into a 5-inning 3-run performance. But as the season went along, he just kept growing, and his pitch mixes and his pitch ability just went out there and started to vastly improve to where it got to the climax of the season for him in Cedar Rapids when he pitched 8 no-hit innings against the defending Midwest League champions of the 2023 season against Cedar Rapids. Jackson Ferris was unbelievable for the Great Lakes Loons this season. 3.39 ERA, a 2.98 FIP, 3.37 expected FIP. That was in just under 100 innings for him. Strikeout percentage just under 30% at 29%. He can go out there. He's effective. He knows. He learned how to pitch better and better this season. And what's so great about him, he's still just 20 years old. He was really young for the level. Now he is currently and had 7 starts for the Tulsa Drillers this season, which is incredibly young for the Double-A level, and continue to go out there and have some success. 2.54 ERA, a 4.40 FIP, 4.75 expected FIP. Jackson Ferris is an up-and-coming star within this Dodgers farm system, and it's going to be a guy that is going to be, you're going to know the name Jackson Ferris for this Dodgers team going forward, because he will be a big league caliber pitcher. And we've seen a lot of these Dodgers pitchers in this farm system come up and make their rise and jump up from AA all the way to the major leagues rapidly. I think of guys like one of the pitchers that's going to be pitching tonight. Ben Kasparius is going to be pitching for the Dodgers tonight. You could see very much a guy like a Jackson Ferris come up. I also think of Justin Robleski, who in 2023 finished off the season with high A Great Lakes and started for the very first time in AA in 2024, and then by midsummer he was pitching for the Dodgers, and he had a lot of success. You could potentially see, if Jackson Ferris gets out to another great start next season, him making the rise and getting to the big league club at some point during the 2025 season. He has that type of ceiling. He has that type of potential. Jackson Ferris is just settling in and just getting started with his potential. It is so incredible, so exciting to see him go out there and perform this way. He is well deserving of getting the 2024 Dodgers minor league pitcher of the season. So congratulations to him. Congratulations to Dalton Rushing as well. I believe they will be rewarded pre-game tonight, coming up in about an hour or so ago, depending on when the pre-game festivities like that are taking place. But want to make sure to give a congratulations to them. Also want to congratulate a lot of the other players within the system who had a ton of success. I think of a guy hitting-wise like Alex Freeland, who broke out this season, especially during his time in Great Lakes and his time during Tulsa, and became one of the best Dodgers prospects in this system, when before the season nobody was talking about Alex Freeland. Congratulations to him as well. And then the pitching side, I think of a guy like an Edgardo Henriquez or Jose Ramirez, two right-handed pitchers. Edgardo Henriquez made the jump all the way from low A all the way to AAA this season, and is going to be a piece for this Dodgers team, especially since he's going to be Rule 5 draft eligible. And then Jose Rodriguez has one of the best swinging strike percentages in all of minor league baseball this season. Pitched some time in Rancho and Great Lakes, and has just performed really well for the Dodgers in this farm system. There's so many other guys that I could go through and list for this Dodgers organization, but it is Dalton Rushing and Jackson Ferris that are going to get rewarded tonight. I couldn't be happier for them. Those are two guys that you will see in Dodger Blue very soon. So be sure to get familiar with their names. Be sure to get familiar with their stories as well, because they're going to have an impact for this Dodgers team going forward, and I couldn't be more excited about it. Also was very blessed throughout. I also got to mention this, and we'll get back into the comments, get back into you guys as well. I'm very blessed during the 2024 season for the time that I got to spend within this organization. For those of you who are new to or haven't had a chance to see me at Dodgers Daily, which thanks for welcoming me back, Dodgers Blue 82. Been a couple of weeks since I've had the chance to join on. I get to spend a lot of time with Great Lakes. I heavily invested in that team and heavily invested in players, the coaching staff, the people surrounding the organization, and it was a great season during 2024. It was not a postseason series, which first, congratulations to Lake County on winning the Midwest League Championship. They were the most consistent and best team during this season, so I'm happy for the fans, for the players, and for the community over there. But it was a great season for Great Lakes, and there's still a lot of talent coming up within this Dodgers organization at the Great Lakes level. I think of some of the starting pitchers like a Jackson Ferris that came up, like a Jared Karros, right-handed pitcher, came up, and within 4 or 5 starts, it was obvious that he was dominant. And even though he didn't spend much time in Great Lakes in 2023, got to send him up. I think of also Peter Hubeck, another great starting pitcher for this team with a lot of swing and miss stuff. I think of some of the other guys, like a Jose Rodriguez previously mentioned, like a Michael Martinez was a great story, right-handed reliever out of the bullpen, offensively, and there's a lot of guys that I'm not mentioning. Offensively, I think of a Chris Newell, who should have been a Midwest League All-Star with his Midwest League leading home run total of 21, 22, something like that, before he got called up to Tulsa. I think of Josue de Paula getting called up and having a lot of success for this Loons team. It is still great to go out and watch the game of baseball, and especially since there's still Dodgers baseball, still regular season baseball, 6 games left during the regular season. Go out and watch some baseball, because there is nothing like this game. There's nothing like being around the community, being around the people, and enjoying the nation's pastime. It is unbelievable. So I want to thank you to the Great Lakes Loons organization, to their players, to their staff, for just being so welcoming to me. And also, it's going to be a long off season, but it's going to be one where I'm going to be right back there. Excited for the Arizona Fall League to start up pretty soon and see some of the Dodgers players compete in that. And then excited for the 2025 season as well. So we're going to get back into the comment section. I know a couple of you have been waiting a little bit patiently as well. Mike Boyer, thank you very much for joining us as well. Austin, sir, can the Dodgers end up with the best record and end up with the top seed? That's a really good question. Let's look at the live standings right now in the National League. So right now, the Dodgers and the Phillies are tied with the best record in the National League. Philadelphia Phillies sit at 91-62, exact same record as the Los Angeles Dodgers. More important thing, at least right now, that I'm concerned with, one has to do with the National League West. The Dodgers currently are 4 games up on San Diego, and as long as they win one of those games during San Diego and take care of business against the Rockies, there should be nothing to be real concerned about with the Dodgers winning the National League West. Is the thing I'm more concerned about has to do with the Dodgers and the Milwaukee Brewers. The Milwaukee Brewers are currently 3 games back of the number 2 seed. They are 88-65. So as long as the Dodgers, again, continue to do what they should do against the Colorado Rockies, they should at least have a bye during the first round, which there could be some concern about having a bye, as a lot of the teams that have had byes have not done well. I think this Dodgers team needs this bye, especially with the limitations that this Dodgers starting pitching staff has. I think if you limit the number of times that they, and more importantly, limit the number of times the bullpen has to go out there and has to pitch a lot of innings, because the bullpen is going to be heavily utilized during this season, during this postseason, I should say. I think that is very beneficial for this Dodgers team. Now for the Philadelphia Phillies, let's look at their schedule right now over the course of the next couple of weeks. They do have right now the New York Mets, which is going to be a tough series for the Phillies, as New York Mets are currently in a playoff position and they are fighting for that playoff position. Then they go and so they're playing in New York right now. Currently, the Phillies are up 8-2, so they are leading right now. Then they play Chicago at home, and then the Nationals on the road. So they've got tough series right now against the New York Mets. They've got a fairly decent series against the Chicago Cubs, and then what shouldn't be too difficult of a challenge for the Phillies against the Washington Nationals after that. Given that schedule and given the Dodgers schedule, which again is 2 series against Colorado, 1 at home, 1 on the road, and then home against San Diego. If the Dodgers go and win 2 out of 3 against San Diego, I think there's a very good shot that the Dodgers could end up with that top seed in the National League. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a tight race down at the end. I don't remember exactly who has the tiebreaker with the Dodgers and the Phillies. If you guys could let me know about that. Just didn't have that prepared with me at the top of the show. I'm going to assume that it's Phillies, maybe, but I also don't know for sure with that. Let's just assume that the Dodgers have to jump ahead of them. They just have to take one more game with the Phillies. So there's a very good realistic possibility that the Dodgers could take that number 1 seed, in which case they would be in a good position because then they'd be playing a lot of games at home, and more importantly, gives the bullpen enough rest to be able to get ready for this postseason, which they are going to be heavily utilized during this season. BC, thank you very much for joining us tonight. And Orlando as well, thank you very much for joining. Craig Osterberg, I saw the Dodgers are building a new stadium for one of their minor league teams. I hadn't seen that yet. I'd actually be curious to see, look into that a little bit more and get a little bit invested. I love minor league baseball. I love just a culture that has, and for each one of these cities that has a minor league club, what that's able to do for the community as well. So any type of improvements that team's able to make and make the performance just even that much better for an organization, for a team, and for their players, I think that would be great going forward. As I think that's going to wrap it up pretty soon here. A little bit of a shorter stream. Dodgers Dawgs, part of the Dodgers Daily Network. Casey wasn't able to join us tonight, but I am happy to be here. Clayton Lockhart, thank you very much for joining us. What's up to you as well? Just mash that like button. Go Dodgers. Go Dodgers to you as well. Be sure to smash that like button. Also got to give a shout out to Pinky, who actually so my parents went and got a new car today, and we live in the state of Michigan, if you're unaware, but the state of Michigan is not without its Dodgers fans. And actually, the person that was helping my parents tonight pick out and ended up getting a new car is a big-time Dodgers fan from Los Angeles. Got to give a shout-out to you. New subscriber here at Dodgers Daily. Pinky, thank you very much for that. As I believe that's going to do it for us here, Dodgers Dawgs, part of the Dodgers Daily Network. I will be back on Monday night doing my normal stream on Monday nights. I know it's been a couple of weeks that I haven't had the chance to be able to do it. This Monday night, I should be able to do it. My schedule should clear up to make that work. So I will see you guys here on Monday night. Until then, tonight, the Dodgers have an important matchup. Continue to go out there, continue to win, and put yourself in the best possible position to win in October. And I believe that's going and just winning as many games as possible. Tonight is a great opportunity. Tonight there's Dodgers baseball, and because there's Dodgers baseball, it is a good day. Go out there, enjoy the game. Go Dodgers. We'll see you next time. You'll see me on Monday. Should be some additional content before then as well. Until then, thank you.